Hello, everybody. I'm ShadowRock, and today I'm here with David Oxford, otherwise known as LBD Nytetrayn, to talk about Mega Man Legends timelines. How you doing today, David?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you doing?
Doing wonderful. So, many of us in the community know who you are already, but for those who don't, can you introduce some of your past and current works in the Mega Man sphere?
Wow. Let's see. Some of my past works, I guess probably the most well-known ones are the Mega Man Robot Master Field Guide and Mega Man X Maverick Hunters Field Guide for Udon. And I've done various other, odd jobs for other books from them. Most of which I think haven't come out yet. I might have done something on something that has. Like I helped proofread the Dive official complete works and help round up pictures for Legacies. Stuff like that. Before that, I've done various things. I worked with Artbox on some trading cards back in the day, with Jazzwares on various things. I did the blog for the Mega Man comic on the Archie website for as short-lived as that was. And yeah, I probably, like outside of all the, official stuff, I'm probably best known for doing the Mega Man Network, so.
Oh yeah. It's a pretty cool website. Well, let's go ahead and get into what you've been doing with Mega Man Legends timelines. So, what can you tell us about the story for it so far? We got a little synopsis before, but we don't know much beyond that, so can you tell us a little bit about what to expect?
What to expect in what way? Because, I'm not going to give spoilers, but...
Obviously, yeah. It's like, maybe like a brief synopsis of anything.
Well, officially, it says far in the future, the digger known as Mega Man Walnut has discovered a valuable artifact from the distant past. Could it be the secret to unlocking a long-forgotten technology? The thieving Tronbon just wants to know, how much is it worth? It's an all-new adventure in the Halcyon days. And, yeah, beyond that, just like a little further clarification, it's set between Mega Man Legends 1 and 2. Specifically, I wanted to do something that was set before the Great Adventure on the Five Islands. And, let's see. I'm trying to remember when the stuff for the playable version of that recently came out. I think it was after I did my script for this, which was last year.
Mm.
And there were like videos from Get Me Off the Moon, covering the game, like with the English dub from many years ago, and that was like my main reference point to kind of get a general gist of how that fits and how I could fit this in. So
Yeah, that makes sense.
But it is a one-shot, and I mean that in the truest sense. It is a one-and-done story, self-contained. There are references to what's come before, possibly even what's come since, I suppose, in the timeline. I mean, because this is the latest thing content-wise for Mega Man Legends.
Right.
Kind of a love letter to the series, if you will. Just something for fans to really, have and be able to appreciate. No cliffhanger. I'm not doing that to anybody. So, this franchise has enough cliffhangers as it is. I am not adding another one, least of all for this series. But yeah, it's one and done. It's not like the Mega Man X one where it's part of a greater series. Hopefully I get to do more of these, but as far as I know, this is it. If pre-orders do well, maybe it'll get picked up. That's up to you guys.
Yep.
Let's see. I want to say that, like, I don't know if this is like going off the beaten path into something else you plan to ask or not, but I also took some inspiration. Oh gosh, and now I'm trying to remember what the name of it was. But between the end of Dragon Ball GT and Dragon Ball Super, there was this like kind of special they did for an anniversary. It was just basically kind of like, hey, we're like, having another little quick adventure with the gang, so you get to see them all again. And that was kind of I couldn't fit everyone in here because of course Legends 2 takes place later. But I wanted to revisit some familiar faces and just kind of give people like another sense of like seeing what's going on in the world.
Yeah, that's interesting for sure. So, I guess it could be like a little bit of maybe like an overview look at the world of Legends and the characters within it.
I tried to make it very beginner friendly. Yes, I saw your talk about Mega Man Zero timelines, and yeah, I was doing that well beforehand just in case this would be. I mean, the Mega Man Zero games, there were the original releases, there was the DS collection, they were on Virtual Console, they're now in a Legacy collection. For all we know, they could end up on a Nintendo Switch Online. Lots of opportunity for people to kind of get to know that. Legends has not had that opportunity, so I went in very aware this could be people's first exposure to Legends. So I did try to, make sure everybody was named and just kind of give a general overview of, how things are. Like, I didn't go too far into the weeds because I only had 22 pages to work with, but hopefully newcomers won't feel lost by it, is my hope.
Yeah, I think that's a good call because when we were reading the Zero comic, like it was a treat for the fans, but it did feel like people brand new to it wouldn't fully understand everything that was going on. So I think it's really good to kind of welcome in the newcomers as well, especially for Legends that hasn't gotten many re-releases since the PS3 days.
Yeah, the PS3 days, well after the PlayStation 4 was on its way, without backwards compatibility for the PlayStation 3, 2, or 1, I should add. So, if you were part of the PlayStation 4 generation, there was a good chance that, Legends was well in the rear view and you had no way of getting to it. Even when I tried to buy the games at that point, by the time I did, the shop was like in such a state that it was just... I really wanted to get the games, and that's why I got them. I can imagine other people just saying, like, no, I'm good, hopefully Capcom will do something, yeah, as you said, like I said, I think Zero has more of an opportunity for people to get caught up, so it's a very different situation from Legends, where I think, you could probably play to people who already know it more easily than you could with Legends.
Speaking of the Zero comic, I just wanted to get your opinion on this, but what was your reaction when you saw the Harpoonian Fenrir misspellings in that comic?
Just kind of like, oh wow, I wonder what happened there. And I hope nothing like that happens on the way to, on the way to mine, because as far as I know, these things have to pass through several layers, including Capcom themselves. So yeah, I don't know who did what, where, why, how, so I just kind of, I went back and made sure I spelled everything correctly. I'll say that.
Right.
I'm just like, yeah, like I did the same thing after watching you guys talk about, characters not being named. I'm like, I did name everybody, didn't I? Because like I said, that was one of my goals. I want this to be a viable introduction to the Legends series, and maybe help that groundswell of support for people to want more Mega Man Legends from Capcom to speak up and hopefully get us that Legacy collection, and maybe one day Legends 3, but one thing at a time.
Yep, gotta start from somewhere. But yeah, it seems like everyone's gonna be named in Legends, so that's a good start for sure. But speaking of characters,
I might have
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I might have inadvertently even given a previously unnamed character a name. So,
Okay.
but I can't go into too much detail on that, but if it happens, you'll know when you see it.
Were there any characters who were off the table to include in your story, such as Lex Loaf, who is speculated to be deceased in Legends 2?
Well, the fun thing about that is that's Legends 2, and this is before Legends 2, so nothing like that ever came up. I didn't even try to use Lex Loath. I mean, I would love to work with using him if I ever have the opportunity someday, but it just didn't fit the story, so that never came up.
Gotcha. Speaking of the characters who are in the comic, was there a favorite one that you loved writing for?
Oh, wow. I mean, they were all... Writing this was a dream come true for me, because I've grown up with comic books, and I've basically been reading them most of my life. And like I started with Transformers from Marvel and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Adventures from Archie and Sonic the Hedgehog from Archie, and spread out to other things over the years. So getting to combine that interest and like my favorite video game franchise, again, that was a dream come true. So in a way, writing for all of them, even the minor characters, was just, it was fantastic. I will say, however, without giving too much away, I hope, I did have some particular fun writing Tron and Roll.
Maybe a little teaser in one of the
that...
covers.
The cover I had no input on. That came as a surprise to me. I did make a suggestion for a variant cover, but they haven't gone with that. Parentheses yet, ... question mark on parentheses, because I mean, I don't know if it does well enough and they do a reprint or something, I mean, that would be remarkable. But never say never. I'll say I made a suggestion. It apparently didn't make the cut for the variant covers. I do love the Transformers homage though.
Yeah, do you know the story behind that one?
Yeah,
that was awesome.
Not at all. I'm just thrilled it went on mine. Like you
Right?
cannot believe. I mean, if it wasn't obvious. That's like fantastic. I asked if I could get like a poster-sized print of that. I haven't heard back on that yet, but hey,
I would love
one
that
can
too.
Because, and I mean, it's got my name on it. Like, you know, that's the cherry on top for me.
A dream come true right there.
Exactly. It's combining all my loves. And but back to the Roll and Tron thing. Let's just say I think you'll know those parts when you see them and why I enjoyed some of that stuff. So, you know, hopefully that gives you something to look forward to.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to this. I know before Timelines was even announced, you've been hard at work on your own fanfiction, a Legends series called Legends of the Halcyon Era. What lessons did you learn from doing that carried over to Timelines?
Well, one thing I want to make absolutely clear is I really did not want to conflate the two. Like, I don't want people thinking I'm trying to use this as some sort of vehicle for my stories. Because, like, Legends of the Halcyon Era, it's got a slightly older tone. It's like, the Legends games are rated E. The highest rated Mega Man game in terms of ESRB is a T. And I try to, adhere to that, so maybe a little bit more cursing and some of the slightly more mature subject matter, but nothing like M-rated. And it's none of that's going to be here. I'm writing this like it is being written for Mega Man Legends, not for Legends of the Halcyon Era. So if there's any fears there, I want to, assuage those. But as far as lessons, I still did want Legends of the Halcyon Era to have a feel like Mega Man Legends. Like I said, most of the characters they skew slightly older. Like Mega Man Roll, Tron, they're 14, and with one exception, the youngest characters are late teens, around 20, give or take, in Halcyon Era. So. Yeah, I definitely wanted to write skewing more towards, how Mega Man Legends would, feel and sound and all that kind of thing. But there were, when I started doing Legends of the Halcyon Era, I did come up with, these themes I noticed that were prevalent that people seem to really like in the Legends games. Things like the humor and like, you know, a little bit of romance and, you know, not like heavy romance or anything, but just, you know, the whole awkwardness with Tron and Mega Man and, you know, Mega Man role and, you know, are they or aren't they, and the whole, all of that kind of thing. And the sense of adventure and things like that. I tried to carry as much of those themes into both works as much as I could. I think I had like 6 tenets of Mega Man Legends, and I'm on my wife's computer right now, so I don't have them all right in front of me. Actually, I do. I've got my phone right here. So if you want to give me a second.
Okay.
Yeah, key elements that make Mega Man Legends loved, even beyond the realm of interactive entertainment. So this is like disregarding things like, you know, your gameplay and things like that, but you've got your action-adventure themes, got a little bit of romance, got your humor, mystery and discovery, exploration, and the characterization and interactions. Those were basically the 6, you know, kind of foundations I try to bring to, that I brought to Mega Man Legends Timelines. Tried to as best as I could. Again, 22 pages, you know, you can't get too in-depth, but I think I managed to nail all those. And, you know, it's something I try to keep going in Legends of the Halcyon Era as well.
Yeah, sounds great to me. I know X Timelines went heavy into like showing parts of the stage and the gameplay, but since this is an original story in Legends, I guess it's more focused on the story, I would guess.
Yeah, definitely. How much can I really say here? Let's just say that I didn't quite go to the same level as far as I know that Daniel did. To be honest, I haven't seen any of the previous timelines in full yet. I've been seeing stuff like reviews and stuff people have posted online. I haven't received my copies yet. I think maybe they're waiting to send them all together, like when I get mine, and I'm at the back of the line, so for when mine comes out. Yeah, I might have to wait another month or so. But I mean, all the reception's been really good from what I've seen, and you know, the glimpses and the scans and stuff that people have been posting. Yeah, it looks really good. Hopefully, I do want to say that I hope that the environment will feel familiar in a way that, you know, feels welcoming to fans of Mega Man Legends.
Yeah. That's great. So, I know that this time around, Mic Fong of the Mega Man Dreamwave Comics fame is doing the artwork. Can you speak about your partnership with him on Legends Timelines?
Nope. Honestly, I mean, when I found out Mic Fong was doing the cover and the interiors, I was over the moon because I read his Dreamwave work back in the day. And honestly, there were certain things. There was like a promo image. I posted about the Dreamwave comics back when the timelines was starting to come out on the Mega Man Network. There was a press release. I believe one of the images there, I believe, it has a picture. It was one of the variant covers. It's Mega Man and Rush kind of leaping away from an exploding ship. And I always thought the airships and some of the stuff there, I thought, oh man, if he was doing a Legends comic, I bet he would kill it. And I've only seen inks so far for some of the pages. I'm not saying they aren't past that at this point. I'm just saying that's what I've seen so far. And oh my god, they're so good. So I'm so glad to be working with him on this. But to say, I mean, I guess technically we're partners. Basically, let me just come out and say, I've had absolutely no contact with Mic Fong during this. Gotcha. I passed the story to the editor, and the editor's taken it to him, and he's like, you know, brought some of the inks back to me, and I've made some notes here and there. And but as far as direct contact, like I haven't spoken with them, so yeah, technically we're partnered, but at the same time, it's like, you know,
Yeah.
we're kind of through an intermediary, so it's kind of a funky thing to talk about because it's not like I was telling him directly, oh, this should be like this or whatever. So
Yeah, I like to ask this question because, Daniel, with his X timelines, he said that he has been having contact, writing notes for the artist to know, like, for example, make sure you draw the armor in this shot and stuff like that. And then Ian said that he didn't have much of any contact with his artist, and you've said the same. So, and it's interesting to point out that, sometimes you guys don't necessarily have contact with each other during these works.
yeah, I mean, I think that's the business. As far as I know, that's the norm sometimes. I think it depends. Daniel, I mean, he's got the golden goose. He's got X.
Hmm.
I'm hoping mine does well, but I already know that, like, mine is not likely not going to be the best seller because classic is classic. X is X. Zero has Zero, Andy and Flynn on it. So, I mean, I don't know what, I'm hopeful that mine does well enough, but his has already gone to series. So, and I think they might have had an idea they were going to do that beforehand, like, just the way things were written. I don't know for sure, but either way, I mean, it's X. It's
Yep.
probably going to be different in some ways. So, like, I wrote mine with the idea that, like, this could be my only shot at ever doing anything like this. So I'm going to make it count for this and this alone. If I get to do more, that'll be fantastic. I can't wait. I hope people like it and want me to do more and pre-order enough copies that I can do more. X, I think, was probably more of a sure thing.
Yeah, for sure. It is honestly really
So-
cool that you do get to do this. I know Legends is your favorite series and everything, so it's genuinely like really awesome to see that you got the job here.
Oh, thank you very much.
And this is more of a joke question. Was there any discussion on calling Mega Man Hippopotamus at all?
There was no discussion. I will say the thought had crossed my mind, but at the same time, well, it's kind of hard to get into without getting into it. I'll just say that. But as far as keeping things approachable, I don't know. Maybe that would have been a little too inside baseball for newcomers.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I did that, then there would probably need to be an explanation, or I'd just be leaving it like hanging as this kind of question mark for anybody who doesn't know the game. And so, it was a consideration, but not a heavy one.
Yeah, I can see that for sure. Like, it'd be a fun nod to people that play the games, but for anyone who hasn't, it's like, okay, that's kind of random.
Yeah. I believe it was Stanley who said that every comic is somebody's first, so I definitely went into this with that in mind.
It's very true. Yeah, that's pretty much all I have. Just, you mentioned it before, but if you had the opportunity, would you like to return for an ongoing Legends series or something else?
Absolutely. Legends or something else. You said Legends was my favorite series. Maybe that's true, but I don't like to pick favorites, but it is probably the one I am currently the most passionate about. In no small part due to that 25-year wait for a sequel.
Right.
Or a re-release collection, something. I'm really hoping that fans will... They say the best way to vote is with your wallet, and I am hoping that fans, get out the vote for this one, because we mentioned the difficulty of getting the games on PlayStation 3. Those don't even work on the PlayStation 5 hardware or the PlayStation 4, which was the new thing when it came out. I think it was about a year after the PlayStation 4 came out, they finally hit PS3. And I'm glad they did, but at the same time, I'm not sure that any numbers from that would have been reflective. Figures, you're importing them, they're pretty prohibitive. I want a Mega Man Volnet action figure so bad, but like the latest ones they released, they came out when I couldn't afford them, and from what I've seen on the aftermarket, they've only gone up. So
Yeah.
it's not that. The comic, I believe it's $4.99 USD for most of the variants. If you find a local comic book shop, I believe there is a there are some comic book shop locators online you can look up, or you can order online from various shops or Udon themselves. But yeah, if this does the numbers, I'm really hoping it shows Capcom, yes, the people want Mega Man Legends and are willing to part with money for Mega Man Legends.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, the original question was if I would want to write more Legends or any other Mega Man series. I would absolutely love to do more Legends. I have ideas, I'll just say that much. It's something I've been thinking about. I would love to write for pretty much any Mega Man, but of course Legends is the one that I feel probably closest to at this point. So yeah, I mean, bring it on.
Yep. And going back to what you said about, showing support for the Legends series, unless Capcom does eventually do that Legends collection finally, in a way, this is our best shot at the moment to show support, show Capcom that we want Legends to come back in a big way. So, yeah, vote with your wallets.
Yeah, this and the good old games thing, which unfortunately hasn't picked up as much as I had hoped it would. So, this could be it. I don't know when fans are ever going to get another opportunity like this. So, where it's like easily. So easily accessible, so affordable, and make a nice addition to your collection too, I hope.
Yeah, definitely. And before we go, is there anything else you want to cover? Is there anything else you want to say to the fans?
Just whatever happens, I firmly believe that Mega Man lives and dies by the fans. That's why I use the hashtag on occasion on social media. We are Mega Man. We are Rockman. As long as we keep talking about Mega Man, as long as we keep showing support, as long as we, keep eyes on things and make it seem like a viable property. I mean, hey, Star Wars went 15, almost 20 years, I think, without a new movie release, because I see people talking about, well, where are the games? If it's not a game, it doesn't matter. And it's like, Star Wars, carried on as a franchise for a good while without more movies. And then, of course, when we got more movies, that's another subject of whether that was actually better for the franchise or not. But, just keep talking about Mega Man, keep creating fan art, fanfics, make your characters, draw the Capcom characters. As long as we keep it alive, Mega Man doesn't die. That is my firm opinion. I think it was Star Trek that was, they canceled it, and it was in reruns that fans basically kept it alive, and now that's a big franchise now. So, fans have the power. So, I just want to emphasize that enough as a message to fans. And hopefully with this, hopefully this helps empower them in a way that Capcom recognizes and, at least gives us something.
Yeah.
That is my hope going into this. More than oh, do I get to write a series of this or anything like that? My hope is that this helps get Legends on Capcom's radar. So.
Yeah, well said.
Yeah.
Legends never die, as they say.
Darn right.
I'm sure we'll come back in another video in the future after the comic comes out to talk about everything that's in it once we read it. But in the meantime, I just want to thank you first of all for coming on and doing this.
Oh, it's absolutely my pleasure. Got to get the word out.
Absolutely. And until Legends...
Gotta hustle.
Oh, actually, you want to tell people where they can find Legends timelines and when it's coming out?
Oh, I think I already did, but yeah, sure. Mega Man Legends Timelines #1 is slated to arrive in stores on October 22nd. That would mainly be comic book shops, but there are online retailers, there's eBay, there's the Udon store, there's online comic shops. Like I said before, I believe there are websites. I'm trying to remember the... used to be the Free Comic Book Day website was a good way to find out what places were local to you. With Diamond going down the drain, I don't know that that's... well, even then, Udon's not working with Diamond anymore, what remains of him, so I don't know if that would do any good anyway. But they did have like a locator that was pretty good. I think there have been another site or two, some other sites that can help you locate, like, you know, comic shops near to you. Some of them will do stuff by mail. It might cost a little more for the shipping, or, you know, maybe make a day of it if it's, you know, next town over. I don't know, but yeah, if you pre-order through the shops and whatnot, you know, hopefully that'll help drive those numbers up.
Yep.
And the main copies, like, I think just the one Udon store exclusive, the girls cover, is priced higher, but I think the rest are $4.99 US. So
Yeah, I think the Transformers one is $20 because I pre-ordered that one.
oh, okay. Well,
At least on
my bad on
Udon
that
store.
one.
Maybe it's different if you go in person, because I know that's going to be an incentive cover. That might be harder to find in person.
Yeah, incentive covers usually are, so...
Yeah.
I didn't realize that one was an incentive cover, but it makes sense. I'm incentivized. I want it.
Definitely.
But yeah, if you call around to the comic shops, like, usually a lot of them are pretty good about letting you, like, place an order or whatever, especially if you're, like, you know, a recurring customer. But, you know, if you go in or call ahead, you know, hopefully that'll help show enough interest, or they can put one aside for you if they place an order. They'll probably put them out if you don't show up after, like, a certain amount of time, but that can vary by store.
Yep.
But, honestly, that's about all I've really got, so...
Awesome. Well, David, thank you once again for being on here, and where can we find you at?
Let's see, I'm on Blue Sky at LBD Nytetrayn. Put an underscore after the LBD if you're on Twitter. I'm not using Twitter as much these days, at least not my personal account there. On both the MM Network, which, you know, I keep tabs on both pretty much every day, at least for Mega Man stuff. The of course, there's the MegaManNetwork.com and or the MMNetwork.com, the Mega Man Network, as well as my site for other stuff, which is PoisonMushroom.org. I really need to get into the habit of updating that more regularly again. Time feels so fleeting these days.
Oh, yeah.
And I've got a Patreon at Nyteworks, NYTEWORKS, which is also the name of the Twitch channel that my wife and we stream on every other week. And usually, like, every other stream, we do Mega Man Mayhem, which we're basically going through a almost chronological order of playing through the whole Mega Man series. We're up on Mega Man 8 right now. Just due to the formats and stuff, you know, it's not strict chronological because, like, we're using the Legacy collections and the Rockman World games, the Game Boy games. Those weren't on there, so we kind of did those in a separate batch before we went on to 7 and 8, and, you know, stuff like that. But generally speaking, it's mostly trying to follow the chronology, the actual in-game, in-story universe chronology. And yeah, I talked about that more than I planned to. Sorry.
Oh, it's all good.
But yeah, I think that's oh, I also do writing for Nintendo Force Magazine, NintendoForceMagazine.com, which has a Patreon you can sign up to. It's a bi-monthly print and digital magazine covering what's happening in the world of Nintendo, kind of a spiritual successor to Nintendo Power Magazine. And whenever I get the chance, whenever the opportunity arises, I like to talk about Mega Man a little bit in there, of course. And yeah, I mentioned the Patreon part, right? That's basically how you sign up and subscribe. So you can do one issue, you can buy back issues, or go for a subscription, however you like.
Awesome. Well, guess that's it for us, but for everybody back home, thank you so much for watching, and definitely support Mega Man Legends Timelines when it comes out, and the rest of the Timelines comics. You know, like we said, this is your chance to show Capcom your support for these series that may not have been getting as much attention as Classic or X these days. Until then, everyone, have a wonderful time zone, and rock on.
Rock on, and legends never die.
Legends never die.